This video is going to show how to play the 5 pentatonic scale shapes, and we're going to use F minor for the key we'll be playing in. Now, when I'm demonstrating each of these shapes, you'll see on the screen a scale diagram or scale shape, and the way you read this is it's basically a picture of your guitar neck that you're looking at, and you're going to see 2 dots on each string. So you start with the lowest sounding note. So in this case it will be the 1st fret on your low E string, and you're going to just play from left to right both dots, and then you go up to the next string and play those dots left to right, and then go up to the next string and so on until you reach the top, and then you're going to play it backwards. So if this is a new concept for you, it will make more sense as I demonstrate these. So pentatonic scale is a 5-note scale. Pentatonic, we break that down. Penta means 5, tonic means tone, and tone can also mean note. So pentatonic 5-tone or 5-note scale. So the 5 notes used in the F minor pentatonic are F, A flat, B flat, C, and E flat. And it's just those 5 notes and just cycling at different octaves. And when you have the 5 different shapes, basically you have a scale shape that starts on each of those 5 different notes that make up the pentatonic scale. So let's just start with one shape at a time, and we're going to start with the minor pentatonic shape, or you can call it shape number 1. So I'm going to say the fret number as I play it up and then back down. We have 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, then back down, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1. Now, moving on to shape number 2. This is also known as a major pentatonic scale shape. So there is always a minor pentatonic and a major pentatonic scale found within your pentatonic scale family. I'm not going to get into any real detail on like what that's all about, but if you're interested in having me do a video talking about that, just let me know, and I'll put that up. So another thing, while we get into these other shapes, they're going to have some slightly trickier finger patterns, or it will look like there is. So what I invite all new players to do to make learning the pentatonics easier is you're going to use basically 2 different types of fingerings. So when you climb up the scale, any of these scale shapes, always start with your index finger or your 1st finger, and then you will have either a small gap or a wide gap, or you can say small stretch and a long stretch. So for the small stretches, use your 3rd finger. So you're going to have just 1 fret in the middle here. For the larger stretch, or the larger gap, you're going to have 2 frets in between. So use your pinky for that. So basically your middle finger is not going to get used if you practice doing the scales this way. So this is just to make things as easy as possible when you're just trying to memorize these shapes. Yes, you can use your middle finger when playing pentatonic licks and riffs and whatnot, but again, this is for the sake of ease. So give this a try. Just when you're going up the scale, just start every string with your index finger, and then if it's a small gap, use your ring finger or 3rd finger, and if it's a larger gap, use your pinky. So here we go, shape number 2, or the major pentatonic. So fret numbers as we go: 4, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, and then back down, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 4. Now we have shape number 3. So this is not just the minor pentatonic shape. This is not just a major pentatonic shape. It is found within the pentatonic family, You can call it mode number 3 of the pentatonic scales, or just shape number 3. And those are the only real names I've ever seen for these out of almost playing for 20 years. So if you find a fancy official name, let me know. But we're just going to stick with shape number 3 for now. So anyway, shape number 3, here we go. We got 6, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 5, 8, 6, 9, 6, 8, and then back down, 8, 6, 9, 6, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 6. So there will be a bit of hand shifting on this one. So when you're going up, when you go to that G string, you have to shift over to the left to use that index finger, and then you're going to go shift back to the right to get back to where you're using your index finger to start that string again. Of course, if you're playing on a left-handed guitar, it would be the opposite of what I just mentioned. So basically, you just got to watch to make sure that you're shifting your hand back and forth so your index finger is always on that first note of the scale shape when you're going up. And then when you're coming down, basically, your index finger will be on the last fret when you're coming down. So another way to put it, make sure you use the same fingers coming back down that you use going up the scale. Anyway, shape number 4 is next. So we have 8, 11, 8, 11, 8, 10, 8, 10, 9, 11, 8, 11, back down, 11, 8, 11, 9, 10, 8, 10, 8, 11, 8, 11, 8. And then last, shape number 5, we have 11, 13, 11, 13, 10, 13, 13, 11, 13, 11, 13, 13, 11, 13, 11, 13, 10, 13, 10, 13, 11, 13, 11. And those are the 5 pentatonic scale shapes laid out in the F minor pentatonic position or key. So all these shapes are movable, they're universal, just like if you're moving or you're playing a power chord or a major chord. No matter where you play this chord or this chord shape, those are all major chords. Same like with power chords, it's always a 5th chord or a power chord. So you can take that first scale shape and start it anywhere. So if you started on the 3rd fret and played the same shape, you just played a minor pentatonic, but that one started on G. If you started on A, 5th fret, play the same fingering, that would be an A minor pentatonic. If you started on the 7th fret, B, same fingering and pattern, you just played a B minor pentatonic. If you started on the 10th fret, which is a D, played a D minor pentatonic, and it just keeps going like that over and over and over again. So the shapes themselves will always appear in the same order, no matter what key you decide to play in. But I'm not going to get into detail with that as far as changing keys on this one. But if you want me to do a video on that, just let me know, and I'll put that together. So now let's take a look at combining these shapes or how they're connected. So basically, whenever you're playing one scale shape, you're already playing half of another one. So we're going to go climb up basically the same way we just went through. And let's take a look at shapes 1 and 2 on the screen at the same time. So shapes 1 and 2 share similar notes as far as like how their pattern is laid out. So I highlighted in red the connecting dots. So hopefully you can see that you are left with the same exact pattern or the exact same pattern when you have that part highlighted. So this hopefully will start to open up some doors for some of you on how you can connect these shapes. It really doesn't matter what shape you use when it comes to soloing, improvising, writing your own music and whatnot, because we're playing in the same 5 notes. We're just the shapes themselves are just ways of learning how the same 5 notes are laid out throughout the fretboard, because it's much easier to learn just 5 pentatonic scale shapes instead of where every F is, where every C is, where, in this case, where every A flat is, and so on. So let's take a look at the next thing. So shape 2 and 3 together, again, highlighted the notes where those 2 shapes share the same pattern. And now we have shapes 3 and 4 together, and now shapes 4 and 5 together. And then you can take it further and have shapes 5 and connect into 1 again. So hopefully that makes sense there, and you can see how they're all connected. So now let's take a look at all the pentatonic scales laid out on the same fretboard. So with this image, you have, starting at the top, shape number 1, and then it goes down to shape number 2, shape number 3, shape 4, shape 5, and then at the bottom there you have all 5 shapes put together. But on the very end, hopefully you can see that you have shape number 1 played again at just a higher octave. Now let's just take a look at all the scale shapes on the one neck, but with each shape highlighted. So here is shape number 1 highlighted, shape number 2 highlighted, shape number 3 highlighted, shape number 4 highlighted, shape number 5 highlighted, and back to shape number 1 highlighted at the higher octave. So if we had a wider or longer fretboard, you would see that this shape number 2 would come again, and then shape number 3 would come again, and it just keeps doing that over and over and over again. So those are the 5 pentatonic shapes, and hopefully you saw how they're connected. So you can really play them in any order that you want. You don't have to just stay within one of them. It's when you get comfortable playing within each shape, it's fun to start trying to connect them in different ways. So just to briefly answer the question, how do you connect scale shapes, or how do you go from one to the next? It doesn't matter. It's just the same as going from one room to another. You just walk over to that other room. So there's no hard rule. There's really no rule at all. It's just whenever you feel like going over to the next shape, just do it. You just gotta try. You just have to try. And as far as memorizing these, I would definitely take it one piece at a time. Too often I have worked with people that will try and just learn all 5 shapes at once, meaning like I'll write out the shapes for them, and they'll spend like the first week just playing one after the next, just shape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just over and over and over again. And then after a week, they wonder, why don't I have these memorized? It's because you're trying to do too much at once. So to help you memorize these scales in the shortest amount of time, just work on one. Just work on one. So get shape number 1 to the point where you can play it comfortably without having to look at it. Once you can do that, start working on memorizing shape number 2. When you can play that comfortably, when you can play shape number 2 comfortably without looking at it, it's like on paper or the screen or whatever, make sure you can still do shapes 1 and 2. So you want to be able to go 1 into 2, and then start working on shape number 3. And then once you're comfortable with shape number 3, you can play it without looking at the page or the screen, whatever you're looking at it on. Make sure you can still play shapes 1, 2, and then 3. So when you start memorizing a new shape, don't neglect the other ones. Make sure that's part of your warm-up, part of your practice, part of your daily routine and getting your scales down. Because memorizing your scales is going to go a long way in being able to write your own music and being able to understand what other players have done. The pentatonic scale is used a ton in rock music, pop music, even a lot of metal stuff. Good old Kirk Hammett from Metallica has just used pentatonic a lot. So, there's a lot of old school metal, you could say, definitely utilized the pentatonic quite a bit. Definitely not so much in death metal and black metal and things like that, but you know, different genre. So there you go. But even country music, you know, uses pentatonic quite a bit. So it's a very versatile scale. Because of the scale simplicity, it fits over a lot of different stuff. And it's also heavily used in blues music as well. So I think that just about covers it. Now, if you like what I had to say in this video, I'd greatly appreciate you leaving a thumbs up. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. And thank you very much for watching.